Hey there, welcome to Millennium Milestone Presents, a site dedicated to storytelling in books, movies, video games, and other exciting genres where my rap career is about to take off right now.
Well, I wrote this song for the Christian youth. I want to teach kids the Christian truth.
Who in the blue hell are you?
Well, that ended very briefly. Anyways, back to my normal career of bashing movies I don't like. We're on to The Running Man. Starring Glenn Powell, Josh Brown and company are here, and who better than this hip-hop artist, YouTube reviewer, to dive and see what this movie is all about. So here we go. The Running Man follows Ben Richards, a working-class man desperate to save his sick daughter, who agrees to participate in the deadly reality show The Running Man to win money. In this dystopian future, his defiance turns him into a fan favorite and threat to the system, leading him to become hunted by a ruthless producer and network that profits from the game and ruthless hunters here and about. At the beginning of the film, we're brought in straight away to the story, with Richards carrying his sick daughter, pleading with his employer to give him another chance despite outing shady business dealings his associates were involved in to the authorities. Richards' employer rejects his plea, sending him spiraling in search for another way to come up with cash to pay for his daughter's medical needs. Now, to be clear, I like Glenn Powell as an actor. He's had great performances in Top Gun Maverick and the not-so-great remake of Twister. Mostly he is known for Anyone But You, with another famous actress we definitely all know, with Sydney Sweeney. Josh Brolin is excellent as a smug, disgusting executive. I didn't even mind Jamie Lawson as the wife of Ben. But part of the problem I was having with watching this movie had to be the genericness of it. The premise is not bad, the stakes are serious enough, the story just comes off a little bit flat. Maybe I'm too much of an 80s fan to appreciate this, but the only reasonably entertaining parts were mostly the chase scenes with typical guns and bombs, and I will admit the sequence with the bat towel to this room chase was good. The first half of the film absolutely was spectacular. It's the second half that gets slow, pointless, with side characters that did not add anything to the film. Michael Cera was somewhat okay, but just wasn't as entertaining as he could have been. You could have used almost any generic actor and gotten the same result. William H. Macy was also not bad, but just not even memorable in any of his scenes. I find it strange also that Jamie Lawson was chosen to be the wife of Ben in this movie, while she does fine in it, there's nothing that stands out either with her that even justifies her character being in this movie. She only appears at the beginning of the film, and we get not much interaction with her except through photos and letters that are written by her. So to sum it up, the action is not bad, there's deadpan humor that works, and yet I still find myself bored. The plot points were simple, not hard to follow, but the extra characters made no real sense to me. You have a kid later in the film who shows up conveniently, gets Ben out of trouble, and introduces him to his brother, who happens to be a huge conspiracy personality on the internet who owns dozens of copies of old Running Man videos that lean into his theories that the network would use three participants, one a loser, one that gets killed quickly, the other a person who feels he or she, in this case, has nothing to lose and goes on a wild spree of danger to end up getting killed. And then lastly, there's the final dude, the one that goes off on a tangent and goes the distance. That's Ben Richards, who stands the best chance of survival as long as he keeps the audience engaged, the secret to staying alive long enough to win this deadly race. Forgot to mention early on, there was another side character that was introduced, and this is kind of a spoiler territory, so if you're not wanting the ending to be spoiled for you, please click away. Amelia Jones. She's used as a interesting character, I would say, but almost not that important as you would think she is. And it's a shame because she's a very pretty girl, I'll give her that, and her acting skills are decent, and it's not even her that's the problem once again. It's, again, another character that's not written well that adds any depth to this movie. I gotta admit, I struggle quite a bit to find anything remotely positive with this movie. It's just like I said before, it's very mediocre and doesn't offer anything fresh, refreshing, and new. It's a shame because when I saw the trailer for this, I was somewhat excited to see if this would turn out really well. It stands up against another film that may do much better than this. Now You See Me, Now You Don't. And the abysmal joke of a film, Predator Badlands, a film that's already seeing a drop of 66% on its second weekend. Thinking back to the original Running Man starring Arnold Schwarzenegger, granted, that movie not necessarily was a huge hit at the box office. It earned a cult following later on. And part of the reason it had a cult following is because I guess there was obviously the factor of Arnold Schwarzenegger still being a very huge star that people will still want to see. The other factor is that the original Running Man was more of a serious film to some extent. I know that's kind of weird to say because there is some comedy elements in it too, but the majority of the film is more serious in tone and is more action driven and not meant to be something that was slapstick comedy like we got in this version of Running Man. And I'm not saying that I don't like comedy per se, but sometimes there needs to be a good balance between the two things. It's kind of the same problem we have with Marvel movies where everything has to be a joke that tones down a serious scene. Sometimes that needs to be balanced very well, even with movies that are not even Marvel films that way. All in all, I would give The Running Man a decent meh rating, if that even makes sense the way I'm describing it. It's not, a terrible film to watch. You can definitely watch this at home and stream, and you still will get entertained, or at least a good portion of the film in that way. Those are pretty much my overall thoughts for the film in that regard. Please, again, I'd like to know what your thoughts as well, too, in the comments. You can always voice them. I have no problem whether they're negative or even positive in that way. And I'm on the road to trying to push over to hopefully 400 subscribers. Help me out with that if you can by liking, sharing, and subscribing. And you best better believe I'll be back.